Hello everyone, this is MaffumanCasting with the StarCraft Star Battle. We got a 6-on-6 ship of the action game starting Agrippa. Agrippa's going to jump on in there. He has 1.71 speed, get a little bit of range as well. Looks like Limitless is going to go on something similar. 1.71 speed, a little bit of range on the missiles. Fantastic to do as a damage dealer is to get more damage. Friendguard going to jump on in there, 1.82 speed, and a little bit of extra range, using that to farm a little better. Actually, it isn't quite farming better, but it is doing a little more damage with his interceptors. We got McMuffin coming in with that plague. Looks like there should be somebody else. Might be just hanging back at base. We're gonna check out the red side. Freddy coming on in there with 4 lasers as a Raven. He can farm one shot right now, which is fantastic. However, he is at he's not using any abilities, so he can't quite save people as easily. Dunk's going to get dunked on with a beautiful plague, and then McMuffin slips back into the gas, so he's got some damage off without taking any himself. Stamina Man is going to come on in there with that 4 lasers as well as a tiny bit of speed. Looks like Mad Max is going to come on in there. Now he has 4 energy blast, so he can farm, but you're actually supposed to use the Mutalisks, but no abilities, but okay. We got a whole bunch of damage being done though. However, we do have a Nocturne going on in there with EMP Shockwave. Looks like Agamemnus is also going on there with burst lasers, but Levi's Cap, who's hiding out under the Colossus, and because of that, they stacked on that plague right there. So that was a fantastic play from McMuffin, hitting 3 targets right there. Now it might not kill them, but the Fry's Cap isn't cautious. He might actually be picked up in the very beginning. It looks like Franco is going to move on in there. He's got the burst lasers, which is better for farming eventually. But hey, if it's on top of it, we got another plague right there. Will there be any healing? Freddy's just decided to say no to healing. There he is, now choosing peace instead of violence, making a little bit of attack as if he has an ability. He doesn't quite, but it was just enough to scare them off to save Lefria's Cap right there. And the blue side is in the position where they're farming, but they also all are quite hurt. Looks like Limitless is going to try to move back, stay out of the range of Stamina Man. And which is actually really good because there's no healing that can be done except for his shields. So it looks like Agrippa's going to move on back there as well. He's got that range. He's trying to use it. Stamina Man does have a little bit less speed, so he can't quite chase them, but he is scary and big and thick. So it works sometimes. Looks like the blue side is going to be able to farm for a little bit, especially up here. Agamemnus right now has 4 burst lasers, so he's just hungry hippoing all of those little attack fighters as well as all the Vikings. 15 health, 16. 16 is a little bit larger than 15, so he can one-shot them. And it does tell you at the very bottom, usually you kind of wanted to make it about 2, but in the very beginning, if you upgrade 4 lasers, you do have the ability to one-shot farm, and look how much money he has right here. 760. Limitless is going to be up there for about 458. Nocturne 139. McMuffin 396, Friendguard 529, and it looks like Agrippa is going to move on back with about 650 by the time he does get back to base. And it looks like it kind of does show if you do sacrifice a little bit of a ability, you can get a little bit longer range. Now he comes back, gonna get EMP. EMP is kind of one of those abilities that's like the exception is just fantastic to open up with. It's almost expected though. McMuffin pretty much had to go and get some plague as well. But looks like now the red side is going to retreat. The money situation, they are basically even. I mean, look at those numbers, and that's just going to happen. It's going to ping pong a little bit, but the blue side was able to push up right as they were able to, as the red side got into position where the farming is extremely good. So they are kind of pushing an advantage right now, even though the numbers are even, because they're advancing. While it's even, and they're going to get a boost, it's a little bit of a boost right there. Lefria's Cap, moving on back, he's got that missile pods. Missile pods do 125 damage, plus 475 to massive units in the target area, so it does a decent amount of damage, but it's primarily good for, I guess, farming. There's no, Void Rays, and there's no, interceptors. It doesn't mean that it's a bad ability, it just is kind of it does a little bit of extra damage in an area. Maybe if they stack on top of each other, it does that. But it's not traditional, but it works. We got Agamemnus, farming on in there. He's trying to use that range. He does still, the one-shot farming is going to be good for the next 3 minutes. At the 10-minute mark, the farm ships, these bad boys, do get a little bit more health, so they're going to be more healthy than just 16 damage. You can upgrade to one-shot farming, but if you stay within 1 or 2, it's really good. If you start slipping and getting into like 3 and 4 territory, you're not going to be making as much money. We got Freddy launching in those secret missiles. Secret missiles are going to chase for a while, but Freddy was taking a whole bunch of damage from the ion cannon as well as the Tempest. So hey, it works. It's just it chases its target for 22 seconds. I happen to like it as a second upgrade, not the first one. But you can see it does change for 15 seconds. You can upgrade how long it chases for, and after like 1 or 2 upgrades, it is quite almost a guaranteed hit right there. Agrippa did move in, almost hitting Freddy, but not quite enough. If there was something else on them, he possibly would have. Beautiful plague is going to be used from Mad Max. Now Mad Max is going to get EMP'd a little bit after the party, though, and Agrippa's going to be burning down. He's protected and he can be healed, his shields. However, he will keep on burning until such point he gets back to base. If he does go into the burning mode, no, not quite there. Looks like the blue side is kind of retreating. Frenger, let's see what he ends up going for. Right now, he looks like he went for speed, and he has a laser battery. Sometimes that means that people are going for nuke. He happens to maybe not to be. He has Yamato Cannon. Yamato Cannon does a whole bunch of damage, blasts the target area with upgrading it to 1800 damage, and a little bit faster. So using that, he might end up needing some more energy, but yeah, it's one big shot. Tomato Cannon online. Bad Max gonna fly in there, gonna launch his interceptors, gonna retreat because he sees 1, 2, 3, 4 people coming on in around. Frenger gonna use possibly his Yamato Cannon at some point. Stand up a man. Looks like he has the 12 armor. Beautiful Plague being used. Agamemnus EMPing. Does have Blackout right now. Blackout's gonna be fantastic if they do bunch up together as well. Limitless pushing on in there. He's got extra range on his backlash rockets. But the red side is using the advantage. Yes, kind of slowly moving back. No real reason to attack, except McMuffin's moving in there. Blackout being used, but Stand-Up Man and Charlie Getz are quite being hurt right now. Will there be enough follow-up? EMP being used to punish them while they're down. We got Stand-Up Man going in there. Charlie taking a whole bunch of damage. Ion Cannon. We got a Side Blast being used. Will this be enough? He has 500, 100 life. Any extra missiles would possibly do it, and he is finally taken out with them almost at base, but Agamemnus is also almost taken out by the tower. Charlie gets taken out by Agrippa. Agamemnus barely being, surviving right there because of Nocturne's healing. Now he's going to go back to base, but that was as close of a dive as possibly can be, but it did work out. Now the red side is finally healing after all that damage. Looks like Beautiful Plague being going to be used. Blue side, making really good strategic decisions to not stay too long. It's super tempting to stay forever once especially you get a kill. You say, okay, I have more ships than them. However, if your ships are injured and theirs are not, it can very easily slip up and get a kill when you don't intend to. Fry's Cap moving on in there. He's got the nuke. He didn't end up using it because it's kind of a tricky thing with nuke. It chases the target, but you got to kind of get the angle right because very sometimes can get a little bit faster than the nuke itself. So if they retreat in time, it's kind of wasted. But he's going to be launching it right now. Limitless right is going to go on that edge. We got Agrippa launching his Ion Cannon, doing so much damage. But will this be enough? It's gonna. If it does hit him, he can survive it. But no, he does retreat right there. Agamemnus letting the team know that the blackout is coming back in about 20-ish seconds, which is fantastic communication. It does show that you can, take out the team and kind of disable them right there. Let's see what Freddy ends up doing. Freddy ends up having a Secret Missile. At this point, it is good. It does chase for the 22 seconds, but it also you kind of have to do both. Beautiful Blackout being used. Stand-Up Man, Lafrias Cap. unable to attack because they are blacked out right now. Yamato Cannon being launched by Frenger. Yamato Cannon being launched by Frenger again. Once you upgrade it once or twice, it can go really quickly. He's going to retreat just in time. I think he may or may not have fire plastic discharge. We got McMuffin taking one for the team, being hit. Agrippa diving in. But Mad Max is staying alive with about 800 life, and Agrippa has to retreat. He could not continue on because he was just out of health. Mad Max gonna limp on back to base. Stamina Man gonna also be in the burning as well. I don't see any recharge shields, but he also is getting drained a lot. It's one of those situations where you kind of have to go for it as well as know that you're going to be drained. It just requires a lot of money in that sense. You just need a lot of money to get the ability, and then also enough to kind of support it even throughout being drained. So like maybe putting an extra like 300 money into just your energy, just so you can survive 1 or 2 EMPs that you're going to get. Nocturne using this time to farm up. He has decent range, 9, so it's not quite battle ravening with like a whole bunch of burst lasers, and he doesn't have like a million range, but he has 9 to make sure he is able to shoot them if the battle cruisers or the frigates are in the area. He can kind of fire back at least. Agrippa launching those afterburners, making him shoot a little faster and scoot a little faster, increasing his movement speed, 1.82 plus 0.3, and that's going to be enough to possibly outrun this secret missile. It does chase for 22 seconds though, so he had to go all the way almost across base just to not be shot. It is one of those situations where it just keep on keeping on, kind of set it and forget it after the first couple upgrades of it. Agrippa moving on in there, launching against Stamina Man, but now he's kind of all alone. He's got a EMP being used, but Agamemnus is giving him a little bit of shields. He doesn't have very much himself, but he is also transferring. Oh, taken out by Freddy. The secret missile from the nowhere was not quite enough. Frenger moving on back. He's got range. He's got Yamato Cannon, but if you don't have energy, you can't use that. And I think it looks like Contaminate was being used. Not that his missiles are upgraded at all, but he's shooting a whole bunch of them. From decent range. He just put all of his money into Yamato Cannon, so he's basically a big old flying gun right there. McMuffin moving on back. He's going to possibly get hit. He knows he probably can't go all the way. He has to go all the way back to base, but he is going to be okay. PDD being used. Agamemnus blocking all those shots, and that is super helpful against battle cruisers, against this Colossus. Now, it's especially good against Colossus because they can't upgrade how many secret missiles, how many antimatter missiles that they shoot. With the let's see if they actually did it. Okay, with Lafraya's cap, he upgraded his longbow missiles, the range, as well as he shoots 7 of them in one shot. Where what's it called? Dunks also shoots 9 in one, and that just means that more can be blocked from PDD. And it looks like Agamemnus is gonna escape just away. Nuke launched, Raven ran away. 1.91 speed, and the angle saved him from taking a whole bunch of damage, possibly being taken out as well. Nocturne moving on up. He's going to move on in. He's going to shoot those 16 burst lasers at the sieges first. It automatically targets sieges before it targets farm ships. Farm ships are the least highest priority, so back to the non-priority right there. You shoot the interceptors, you shoot siege ships, capital ships, all before you shoot farm. Just automatically. Secret missile being used, and again at this point, you just kind of is a kind of guaranteed damage. Especially if you stack on top of each other. Blackout being used. Lafraya's cap gonna have to retreat. He can't use any of his cool abilities if he doesn't have any energy, and if he can't shoot anyway. So he's just kind of dead in the water. He does say why. Maybe just because. Stamina Man gonna go on in there. He's gonna take a whole bunch of damage. You got the sieges on him as well. You got the plague. It will go back to base. He's gonna be quite in pain right there. It's going to keep on burning while the plague is going, but the healing at the mothership is higher than the plague itself, so he is getting it back a little bit right now. We got Franker launching against Lafraya's cap. Now he had to upgrade how much energy he has, and he's just basically like waiting for it. He's got a nuke, he's got a defensive shield, he has missile pods. Missile pods are now actually somewhat helpful against PDD. Wasn't maybe the most intentional at the very beginning of the game, but it does work out really well right now. PDD blocking anything that's in the area. And Mad Max is going to try to push up as well. Blue side retreats with plenty of health and also plenty of money. Let's check this out. 448 for Frenger, McMuffin about 400, Nocturne 630, 485 for Agamemnus, and 603 for Limitless. Doesn't have a limitless amount of money, but he has some money. And because of that, the money situation is actually relatively even, with a little bit of an advantage for blue side right now. The red side will be able to farm, maybe tie this up, but because they retreated with a bunch of health, they don't have to spend any time healing at base. They can just kind of go back into the attack. Second Man decides to go for Thermal Lance. Thermal Lance is a good ability. It's one of those things that is extremely helpful in most situations. Adds a whole bunch of damage, especially with PDD blocking most of your antimatter missiles, and with Colossus being unable to shoot more or upgraded to shoot more missiles, it makes some sense to have Thermal Lance. Of course, then because it's an energy ability, you know what happens with that EMP. So the Colossus is just in one of those like somewhat no-win situations where he just everything that he wants is just damaged. But Limitless was taken out by Lafria's Cap with a nuke to the face. Even though the blackout was being used, it was just not quite enough. We got Mad Max retreating. We got the entire red side, healing up after being blacked out. But it worked. Looks like Lafria's Cap gonna move on back. He got about he has almost all of his health. He's just a little bit of a tank as well. 1.82 speed and starting to put a little bit of that. But the Colossus isn't necessarily like countered. I want to kind of just clarify. It's just one of these situations where everything that the Colossus wants to do can be just needs more money to do it. If you want to be more tanky, you have to get more money. If you want to use more abilities, you have to get energy. If you want to survive EMPs, you have to get energy. If you want to, make them almost have to use, PDD and make your missiles better, that just costs more money as well. He's still tanky. He still has a role. There are no like rock paper scissors right now. Right now, he's blocking all this damage. He doesn't care if he gets plagued. He's going to keep on diving. But it just is one of the situations where like the Colossus has to like know that a lot of what they're doing is intimidation, tanking, and waiting and getting more money and being patient. For a while, they're going to just be EMP'd all the time, no matter, even though he has two abilities. And the blue side is going to retreat with plenty of time. It's basically just all support ships. 2 Ravens, and Overlord is kind of damage support, and the battlecruiser is the only like generalized attack vehicle. Versus Lafria's Cap, who is a battlecruiser, generalized attack vehicle, frigate long distance damage dealer, another high damage support mage, a kind of support healer as well, and a tank. Using all that, we got the Sky Furies being moved up, but at this point the blue side is healed up, trying to make their advancement. Now they don't have very much DPS though, because they don't have any teammates. They only have to rely on a Frenger, who has a Yamato cannon, does not have any missiles whatsoever. So he's just really not. He's just tickling them with his missiles. Beautiful lockdown being used against Agamemnus right there. Secret Missile is going to cause him some pain, but with 1.82 speed, he can quite run away. We got Frenger launching his Yamato cannon, but it is blocked by defensive shield. We have really most of the damage is going to be done through like this one side blast ability and plague from the high damage dealing Overlord. But the red side has more consistent damage. I mean, look at these little mini missiles right here. There we go, backlash rockets being used and upgraded. With that, I guess energy war is absolutely on. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 ships with the potential to drain energy. Looks like 1, 2 of them are draining energy with the EMP. Franger could upgrade Lockdown, doesn't have it. McMuffin could upgrade Siphon, but doesn't have it. And the Fry's Cap is draining energy. Freddy does have EMP, and Mad Max could upgrade Siphon, but doesn't have it quite yet. And Dunks can't drain energy. So he just said, okay, I'll do more. You want me to do damage? I do damage. Sort of like Stand-Up Man. You want me to tank? I'm going to tank more. It's sort of silly to have Hardened Shield at this point because Franger's missiles are so low. He only does 60, so if you drain them from 60 to 50, it's like somewhat helpful, but not as helpful. And if Franger ever does decide to use some of that 500 money to put it into long-range missiles, then it'll be more helpful. So it's not unhelpful. It's just will get better eventually. But against this current team composition. The burst lasers are never going to go up to 50. I mean, that'd be monstrous, but it could happen. It just won't happen. Looks like with that, LaFry's Cap and Dunks are going to try to double team the tower right here. Warp Prism is going to go into the low shield. Is going to start to dip into health. Will the blue side be able to go up all right there? Fred is launching that Seeker missile. The Warp Prism is lower. Blackout being used. It doesn't. It hit McMuffin, but can't do anything to him. Warp Prism is successfully defended with all the PPDs right there. We got Franger moving on in there. Franger, he has Nuke, he has Yamato Cannon. He does not have any missiles, but he does not want to use them apparently. He just wants to use some cool abilities. Blackout being used on everybody right there. But they happen to be in the gas, and they happen to be able to be escaping right now. The Fry's Cap, Speedy, gonna move on out of there. Stand-Up Man taking a whole bunch of damage. Can he make it back? He has the stamina to it. He will get on back. Boom, hit. And a defensive shield. Why not? Agamemnus launching in there, going back. He gets locked down on the way onto the attack, and now he's just going to try to gain some energy while they make their counter attack, their counter push. The money situation has kind of switched around a little bit. It is now the red side who has more while they are in their healing period. So will the blue side be able to catch up to that 3,000? Maybe or maybe not. Definitely not by the time that the red side's fully out into their attack, and then they can make more. So they are retreating right now, using PDDs, blocking as much damage as possible. Beautiful. I mean, look at these Kamehameha Blast. He upgraded it to 2550 plus 250 versus bio. Really just slapping down Mad Max. Another Secret Missile being used, launching it as well. The Secret Missile, if it catches him, could actually do a whole bunch of damage, especially with the Plague right now. We're going to keep an eye on it. We might get a sneaky kill right back there. But it looks like the red side is going to make their retreat, and the Overlord does make it back to base with no money, but with his life intact. So that's good as well. Blue side making their way back town. We got PDDs being used all over the place. Dunks has the Rip Brave warheads and is using them. He has to upgrade his missiles. They drain 55 energy per volley. Was recently patched, so the more upgrades that you have on your missiles, it makes them cost more energy to use. So it usually costs 40, but because he upgraded his missiles 15 times, they're going to cost 55 energy for each volley, which just means he has to put more money into energy needing. But it is the way of getting through so many layers of PDD. It's the only way that that any of the missiles will not be blocked is if they are the frigate missiles. Franger moving back. He likes his energy. He has 600 energy to launch a Yamato Cannon all the way. And Nuke is coming back in a few seconds. Red side deciding to retreat. Freddy doesn't have PDD, wouldn't be very helpful right here. He has every ability in the book, and he's going to kind of keep on trying to use them. Defense Matrix is helpful, EMP is helpful, Blackout's helpful, Secret Missile's helpful. At this point, it's just a question of what button to press at the right time. LaFry's Cap has 240. Dunks 267. Stand-Up Man just came back. He has 17.5 armor with his shields because he's a Colossus. It does get ignored if you get plagued, and there was some plague back and forth action. But he has 350. he may end up just needing more money to put into energy abilities. He doesn't have recharge shields, and I think that's, that could be helpful. I mean, you're going to be taking a bunch of damage. You won't have very much energy, but there we go. Blackout being used against the Fire Scat and Sandman. Beautiful Plague being launched out there. Nuke, Secret Missile, and most shots being defended against. Defense shield being used. Perfect shot right there. McMuffin does get hit by Mad Max. Mad Max is going to move that, his little tentacles as fast as he can. 1.82 speed. 1.92 speed on the Overlord. Basically, it just means that he paid $400 to be a little bit speedier. Is helpful because there is no way of healing an Overlord. The Overlord doesn't have the ability to heal himself, and the two Ravens can't give shield to something that doesn't have a shield. They can maybe use some PDD or something like that, but there's no way of directly healing him. Sandman gonna move on out of there. We got Yamato Cannon being launched, EMP being used as well. He's going to have to retreat. He's not quite burning, but he is kind of a shield tank with low shields right now. McMuffin moving on in there. Mad Max, he doesn't have any side blast, but he has a plague. I think with a side blast, he would have most definitely taken out McMuffin or somebody right there. And gets a secret missile for his troubles. Dunk's flying around saying, okay, look at all these point defense drones. While he is gaining energy, he cannot launch his Ripwave warheads. You have to toggle it on and off to a certain point. If he had like 700 energy, he could possibly just walk around using it, but he's not quite there yet. And yes, that's not really an exaggeration. You start off with 225 energy, and you upgrade it more and more. It costs a little bit more each time, from 25, 30, 35, 40 onwards. And basically, that's what he spent, and he has to spend even more. Looks like they're kind of communicating, talking about getting blackout, radar, Sandman trying to just fly around and do as much damage as possible. Side blast being used, 2,900 damage. Franker launching his Yamato cannon. It was still in the time. Oh, the nuke is being used as well. Now, you did go through and hit him. Agamemnus had used the blackout as well, but all that combination is just to double make sure that the Colossus can't do any extra damage. And it looks like McMuffin's going to try to retreat. He's got the plague. He does use it against the Fire Cap. Well, Fire Cap does have some missiles, but really couldn't continue that attack right there. We got Agamemnus pushing on up. McMuffin, every time that he gets energy, he's trying to launch it as much as possible, just kind of keep on blasting. Double Secret Missile being used. The Fire Cap getting that extra health. Launching. The Fire Cap is so low. Will this be enough? Mad Max, I think if he had Side Blast, he would have take him out. McMuffin nearly took out the Fire Cap. It looks like he does not have the insurance policy, and I think that would be a good $50 investment. It would stop him from burning down if you get the fire extinguisher ability, and BioSteel would help him out right there. Dunk's moving back, kind of slow. I think because he delayed for a half second, he's going to use his own little afterburners, and that's just fine. The blue side's moving up. They have their fancy abilities. They're using their PDDs all over the place. These are Freddy's PDDs, and then we have even more that can be launched, and that's actually stopping the burst lasers from farming as much as possible. Franker, he only is shooting 6, and sometimes that's it's just not going to quite be there. And Firescat does now have the BioSteel ability. I can't really tell if he has the anti-burning one, but if he doesn't, he at least can heal if he's not burning. Blue side retreating. They have they're primarily defensive ships. They have all these good counter abilities, and what they don't have is very much DPS. So they're just going to try to go back to base, use the natural defenses of the base to increase damage, and hopefully just catch somebody out of position. Looks like McMuffin is going to launch that plague every time that he possibly can. Missiles being launched up there. 21 upgrades, 207 damage per missile, attacking 9 times. And usually with Ripwave warheads, so it can go through the point defense drones. He's toggling it off and on. And if it does shoot, It's going to do a little bit more. Will the blue side be able to pick up a base right here? Ooh, beautiful plague being used. Mad Max and Stamina Man definitely taking a whole bunch of damage. Muffin really trying to use his abilities. Mad Max finally does have Side Blast. It only does 1735 plus 250 to bio and shields because McMuffin upgraded his a whole bunch more. He does have a nuke on him. He has just over 6,000 life, but let's see if it ends up hitting him in base. Not quite. It doesn't look like. It looks like Agamemnus and Nocturne are pushing up there. Now, at this point, they're kind of almost Battle Ravens because they upgraded their burst lasers. 7 and 11. When in doubt, you can still have to shoot a little bit, do a little bit of extra damage. Maybe that little bit of difference does hit them. Blackout hit both Nocturne and Lafria's cap, though. Gotta be careful with that. And Frenger gonna move on in there. 1.92 speed. Listen, he has 775, so he can launch his Yamato cannon, and he can shoot it pretty often. He's gonna keep on launching it. No. PDD being used, PDD saving Lafria's cap from doing a whole bunch of damage right there. Longbow missiles upgraded, 116 damage per missile, shooting 8 times. Mad Max moving back. We got Nuke being launched. Nuke being, even though he can survive the nuke, he doesn't want to take the damage he possibly can. He should go back to base and heal up, especially with this plague. The plague will keep on burning, and it will actually start burning the shields while you're there. So he's staying at 600 damage. Now that he's heavily damaged, he's gonna lose some of his shields. He has a whole bunch of them, but he has to get back to health. McMuffin launching that that super Kamehameha blast. Secret missile being used as well. Will this possibly take them out, especially with the addition of the House Tempest? I think it possibly just maybe will. One more blast. Secret missile being launched, and there we go. Red side is down 1 tower, which does make a difference. If you're chasing them, then the towers no longer offer that defense, and the mothership gets a little bit less damaging. And PDD is being used right there. It's really just a question of can Dunks get enough energy to overcome the PDDs? Will the PDDs be able to save the blue side? The blue side definitely knows when to retreat. They're doing a fantastic job of not staying too long. It's always super tempting to say, okay, I've got the thing I was looking for. I got the person who I want to kill. I got the tower that I want to kill. You have to also make sure you retreat so you don't end up losing after you start winning. But I think they're going to go for a, you took my tower, I'm going to take your tower. Freddy launching has a secret missile, and Blackout being used against Erever about it. Dunks out of energy, and will this be enough? The tower has so little health, about 2,000 life. Secret missile being used, and the secret missile will take it out. 3,000 damage is more than 2,000. So, tower for tower. The Dunks is going to move on out of there. He's going to try to use his his energy, but it was being drained as well. Lafria's cap launching a nuke. Launching the nuke against McMuffin. McMuffin's going to take a whole bunch of damage. We got Sandman Man just so tanky. Even though he's getting drained all the time, he has just a natural 18.5 shields. I think he also has the recharging shields during combat ability. If he doesn't, he should. And even if he's not able to do very much damage, he is fulfilling his role as tank. Beautiful defense matrix being used. Sandman again, just providing for his team. He does have recharge shield. He is going to get drained, but at a certain point, if you don't drain him, then he can keep on healing even easier. Hardened shield, recharge shield, Reflius gap, moving on back, getting drained as well. It's just everybody's a target for energy drains, and almost everybody has energy drain abilities except for the Frigate and the Colossus. So they're just using it on everybody. PDD being used offensively and defensively. Battle Station being attacked. Now the Battle Station doesn't have any energy abilities. However, EMP does also drain, and that's what they're just going for right there. Can they outshoot the tower? Yep. We got Agamemnus. He has 11 range, so he can actually stay a little bit outside the tower range as well. 10 range the exact range that he needs. And it looks like McMuffin is calling for an extra quick turn to save the tower. He knows that they're chasing, and they're retreating just in time, not staying too much. Frenger just upgraded a whole bunch of stuff. Yes, he has speed. He does not have any missiles. We got McMuffin about 1,000 money. Let's see what he ends up putting that into. It looks like he has plenty of damage, and Frenger gonna move on back. PDD being used. These Tempest just flew into the opponent's team. Beautiful Plague being used on all of their houses. We got McMuffin launching another shot. Freddy is quite hurt, and he is going to start burning down. He is being plagued. Maybe one more plague or one more shot, and Dunks is going to take a bunch of damage. We got McMuffin moving up back. We got launched against Dunks. Blackout being used against Agamemnus, and Dunks is taken out by McMuffin. Nuke is being used on McMuffin, and it looks like Mad Max is possibly going to take him out. He has almost Agamemnus trying to give as much healing as possible. We got the Agamemnus chasing, being Nuke being used as well on everybody. The Blackout, and a Nuke everywhere. And now it's just a 3 versus 4 scenario. The red side was not quite able to pick up the kill right there, but on McMuffin. But now it looks like Agamemnus is going to keep on trying to chase. He's going to keep on trying to do his things, but he doesn't have any energy because he keeps on being drained. Mad Max trying to retreat. He only has 3 right there. Let's see. We have a tanky Colossus. We have a high damage dealing Overlord. We have a healer unit right there versus the two Ravens. High damage dealer and battle cruiser who decides to just never get missiles, which is not killing inside. It's okay. I mean, he does have 800, so he can shoot his Yamato cannon, which is upgraded a lot, very quickly, very often. Even if he gets EMP'd, or even if there was Siphon, and it looks like now Freddy's going to try to make some defense right there, and it looks like while that's happening, the Agamemnus is going to move on in there. He's going to use an EMP, but it's not going to be quite able to do that. The PDDs are blocking him from attacking the farm ships, and the farm ships are kind of punishing him for resisting as well. And launching the Yamato cannon right there, and because he upgraded it at least 3 times, he can actually just rapid fire it. You could rapid fire it. We got a Nuke being used, chasing, being launched right there. Mad Max shooting his side blast at McMuffin. McMuffin launching a plague in defense right there. Blackout being used. Battle Station taking a whole bunch of damage. Will this be enough? He's going to be right there. 600 life left. We got a Seeker Missile chasing down Mad Max. Mad Max with the EMP on him as well. We got Seeker Missiles chasing all the way into base, and with that, then the tower's finally able to be taken out. We got the entire red side trying to retreat while the blue side is advancing, trying to make up as much money as possible. Stamina continually drained all the time. Nukes being launched, and battlecruiser taking, scaring him off right there. Sandman taking a whole bunch of damage, launching the Yamato cannon. Yamato cannon in base takes out Sandman. We got Mad Max also taking a whole bunch of punishment right there. We got Agamemnus retreating. Another kick 'em while they're down. Side blast on there right there. The Blackout just being used to not farm, and I think this is basically going to be it. We got Freddy just hanging out in base, just saying, "Oh no, this is about all that." I hope you guys are enjoying this. Make sure to press like, press subscribe. We're going to be doing StarCraft Star Battle all the time, and let's see if we got Freddy taking damage. He's just staying alive. He's just waiting for the base to be there. But now you just see this rapid fire of Yamato cannon all over the place. Blackout being used to stop him from punishing more, and this mothership is actually just keeping the game on me even after I kind of did the outro right there, but that's perfectly fine. We got will Freddy be able to make any surprise kills? Probably not. We're going to see if the there is enough to push them back though and scare them off. And Yamato and blasting and everywhere against the mothership, against Freddy. There we go. So now, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I had a whole bunch of fun casting this game. I really appreciate these games being sent in to MaffumanCasting@gmail.com. Press like, press subscribe. We're doing StarCraft Star Battle all the time.